Hi, welcome to Movies Moment. Today we are going to explain a movie called Lady Chatterley's Lover. Spoilers ahead. Subscribe if you like this and catch us on the next one. Take care.
Following her marriage to Baronet Clifford Chatterley, portrayed by Matthew Duckett, Constance Connie Reed, brought to life by Emma Corrin, leaves the bustling city of London for the grandeur of the Chatterley estate in Rugby. Their union is sealed in intimacy before Clifford is called to serve in World War I the very next day. The harsh realities of war soon reach the estate as Clifford returns home weeks later, his life forever changed by a paralysis that confines him from the waist down. This grave injury necessitates constant care, a responsibility that falls upon the shoulders of the estate's caretakers, Mr. and Mrs. Warren. Amidst this backdrop of personal tragedy and duty, the narrative begins to unfold, revealing the complex interplay of loyalty, desire, and the quest for personal fulfillment. Constance Connie Reed Chatterley, with unwavering dedication, attempts to navigate her new life under the shadow of her husband Clifford's severe disability. His paralysis, coupled with an inability to physically express love and a growing emotional distance, gradually begins to strain Connie's spirit and resilience. Despite the employment of numerous staff members to assist in the upkeep of the vast estate, Clifford demands Connie's personal attention for his care, further confining her to a life she never envisioned. Clifford, seeking solace and purpose, immerses himself in the world of literature, dedicating his time to writing a novel and engaging with his literary circle through gatherings at their home. These intellectual pursuits, however, offer little solace to Connie, who finds herself increasingly isolated and disenchanted with the monotonous and unfulfilling life at Rugby. The restrictions placed on her freedom become all too apparent when Clifford denies Connie's request to visit her sister Hilda in London, citing his dependence on her presence. This denial sparks a quiet rebellion in Connie, who begins to seek solace in solitary walks around the estate's expansive grounds. It is during these moments of solitude that Connie becomes aware of the unrest brewing beyond the estate's walls, as miners in the nearby village voice their grievances against the harsh and unjust working conditions they face, adding yet another layer of complexity to the world she inhabits. In an unexpected turn of events, Clifford, driven by the desire for an heir to continue his lineage, proposes a radical solution to their childless plight. He suggests that Connie should engage in an extramarital affair, but solely for the purpose of conception. This unconventional proposition underscores the depth of Clifford's desperation to secure his legacy, regardless of the emotional toll it may take on Connie. Amidst this personal turmoil, Clifford's literary ambitions face a public setback. His novel, into which he had poured his hopes and aspirations, is released to the world, only to be met with critical disapproval. A particularly scathing review lambasts his work as outdated and pompous, labeling Clifford's perspectives as relics of a bygone era. This professional humiliation adds another layer of complexity to the already strained dynamics within the Chatterley household, further complicating Connie's emotional landscape as she grapples with her husband's request and the broader implications of their life together at Rugby. During a visit to the Chatterley estate, Hilda, portrayed by Faye Marcy, quickly discerns the deep-seated weariness consuming her sister Connie, a consequence of her relentless dedication to Clifford's care amidst the couple's increasingly complex circumstances. In an act of protective sisterly intervention, Hilda employs Mrs. Bolton, played by Jolie Richardson, a familiar figure in the Chatterley household who had previously tended to Clifford in his youth. Mrs. Bolton's appointment as Clifford's primary caretaker is met with resistance from him, but Hilda's assertiveness prevails, even extending to arranging a medical consultation for Connie, highlighting the gravity of her concern for her sister's well-being. In an intriguing twist of fate, one of Connie's attempts to find respite from her stifling existence leads her to a fateful encounter with Oliver Mellors, the estate's enigmatic gamekeeper, brought to life by Jack O'Connell. Mellors, a man marked by his own war wounds and personal battles, returns to find his life in disarray, his marriage to Bertha dissolved in all but legal terms, with Bertha cohabiting with another man in a neighboring village. This meeting between Connie and Mellors, set against the backdrop of a routine check on the pheasant chicks at a nearby cottage, ignites a connection between two souls seeking solace and understanding in a world that has left them both adrift. Connie finds herself increasingly drawn to Oliver Mellors' modest work cottage, a place that becomes her sanctuary away from the complexities of life at Rugby. Here, in the quiet solitude, she indulges in her books, finding moments of peace and reflection. Meanwhile, Clifford's determination to sustain the coal mines conflicts with Connie's empathetic desire to aid the miners in seeking a better future, highlighting the couple's diverging perspectives on social responsibility and personal fulfillment. The initial spark of intrigue between Connie and Oliver Oliver rapidly evolves during her visits to the cottage, culminating in a connection that is both undeniable and intense. This newfound intimacy quickly escalates into passionate encounters, marking the beginning of their secret liaison. Utilizing her routine checks on the chicks and her solitary walks as a pretext, Connie seizes every opportunity to meet with Oliver, their connection deepening with each encounter. Oliver's unexpected gentleness and sensitivity take Connie by surprise, contrasting sharply with her life with Clifford and the expectations of their social class. Emboldened by this discovery, Connie and Oliver embark on a passionate love affair, uninhibited by the conventions that bind them. Their love becomes an act of defiance against the constraints of their respective worlds, with the secluded woods around the estate serving as the backdrop for their moments of uninhibited freedom and connection, symbolizing both their escape from societal norms and the depth of their bond. As Connie's clandestine meetings with Oliver Mellors become more frequent, their secret threatens to surface. Mrs. Bolton, ever observant and attuned to the undercurrents of the estate, catches a glimpse of Oliver on the grounds during one of Connie's routine walks. This sighting raises suspicions in Mrs. Bolton's mind about the nature of Connie's absences and Oliver's presence, hinting at the possibility of a concealed relationship between the lady of the house and the gamekeeper. Amidst the backdrop of these personal entanglements, the conditions within the coal mines deteriorate significantly under Clifford's stewardship. His focus on maintaining the mine's productivity, seemingly at the expense of the miners' welfare, casts a shadow over his relationship with Connie and further alienates her from his world. In an attempt to quell any doubts about her fidelity and perhaps to mislead Mrs. Bolton, Connie suggests that Clifford's health is improving, implying that the prospect of them conceiving a child naturally is not entirely out of reach. This conversation, whether intended as a deflection or a moment of wishful thinking, is quickly seized upon by Mrs. Bolton. She takes it upon herself to disseminate this information, turning Connie's offhand remark into a widespread rumor throughout the village. This act of gossip serves not only to divert attention from Connie's actual affair, but also to reinforce the facade of normalcy and propriety that the Chatterleys strive to maintain in the face of their private turmoil. As Connie navigates the complex emotions and physical changes accompanying an early pregnancy, she devises a plan to legitimize her situation under the guise of seeking an affair in Venice with her sister Hilda's assistance. This strategy aligns with the spreading rumor that she and Clifford are earnestly attempting to conceive, offering a cover for her growing connection with Oliver Mellors. However, Oliver's reaction to this development is one of betrayal and anger, under the mistaken belief that Connie sought him out solely for the purpose of having a child. In her defense, Connie passionately asserts that her feelings for him are genuine, revealing her disdain for Clifford's aristocratic views on class and entitlement. She sees Clifford as embodying the belief that he is inherently superior, destined to rule over the miners, who in his eyes exist merely to serve and enrich him. This realization deepens Connie's disgust and pushes her further into Oliver's arms. Caught in a torrential downpour, symbolic of the turmoil in her heart, Connie seeks refuge with Oliver, further solidifying their bond. This moment of vulnerability and connection is interrupted by Mrs. Bolton, sent by Clifford to retrieve Connie. Mrs. Bolton stumbles upon Connie and Oliver in an intimate embrace in the woods, a discovery that threatens to expose their secret relationship to the prying eyes of the estate. Amid these tumultuous events, Hilda arrives to escort Connie to Venice, only to learn of her sister's affair with Oliver. Although disappointed, Hilda respects Connie's choice, allowing her one final night with Oliver before their planned departure. The precariousness of Connie and Oliver's situation is further complicated by the arrival of Ned, the new partner of Oliver's estranged wife Bertha. Seeking a share of Oliver's war pension in light of their unresolved marital status, Ned inadvertently uncovers evidence of Connie's presence at the cottage, adding another layer of complexity to the already fraught narrative. This convergence of personal crisis and societal expectations sets the stage for further developments in Connie's journey towards self-discovery and the pursuit of authentic love. Ned's discovery of Connie's presence at the cottage quickly transforms into scandalous gossip, casting a shadow over the secret relationship between Connie and Oliver. The whispers and rumors find their way through the village and ultimately to Clifford, who reacts decisively by dismissing Oliver from his position on the estate. This abrupt separation occurs just as Connie returns from her brief sojourn to Venice with Hilda, a trip that had been planned as a facade for her supposed quest to conceive. Despite the tumultuous circumstances and the physical distance imposed between them, Connie and Oliver pledge to find a way back to each other, a testament to the depth of their connection and commitment. Upon her return to the manor, Connie confronts Clifford, candidly expressing how his emotional neglect and rigid adherence to societal norms compelled her to seek love and affection elsewhere. She reveals not only her love for Oliver, but also the news of her pregnancy with his child, hoping for understanding, if not acceptance. However, Clifford's response is resolute and unforgiving. He adamantly refuses to grant Connie a divorce, effectively trapping her within a loveless marriage. Determined to pursue her happiness and a life with Oliver, Connie decides to leave London once more, setting her sights on returning to Venice. In her absence, Mrs. Bolton takes on the role of messenger, promising to spread the word in search of Oliver, signaling the village's and perhaps society's gradual awareness and involvement in Connie's quest for love. In a bold move that underscores the novel's thematic focus on love, autonomy, and rebellion against societal constraints, Mrs. Bolton shares with the village the full extent of Connie's sacrifice. She tells of how Connie relinquished her wealth, title, and position in pursuit of her love for Oliver, framing their story as one of profound love and courage. This narrative shift marks the transformation of Connie and Oliver's affair from a clandestine romance to a public testament to the power of love, challenging the community's perceptions of duty, class, and the pursuit of personal happiness. Months after departing for Venice, the allure of its beauty and escape from societal constraints begins to wane for Connie, as she yearns for a life of substance over the picturesque yet ultimately unsatisfying scenery of Venice. During her time abroad, the narrative of her bold choice to abandon her wealth, title, and position in the name of love for Oliver Mellors, a gamekeeper, spreads far and wide, becoming a tale of romantic defiance celebrated by word of mouth across England. This story, emblematic of true love's triumph over societal norms and expectations, captivates the public imagination. In a turn of events that rekindles her hope and determination, Connie receives a letter from Oliver, now settled in a new house in Scotland with a well-compensated position. His invitation for her to join him ignites a spark within her, prompting Connie to undertake a significant journey. She drives nearly 800 kilometers, a testament to her commitment and love, to reunite with Oliver and embark on the life they dreamed of together. Their reunion in Scotland marks the beginning of a new chapter, far removed from the constraints and prejudices of their former lives in England. Together, they embrace a simpler, yet profoundly richer life in the countryside, where the essence of their love, unburdened by the trappings of social status and wealth, flourishes. This resolution signifies not only the fulfillment of their personal quest for authenticity and happiness, but also serves as a testament to the enduring power of love to transcend societal barriers and expectations.